everybody, and today we are talking about 3/4 of a bombshell drop from Hot Toys. Now, I am of course talking about the Hot Toys Fantastic Four, but we do also have a little bit of a surprise in here as well. They've announced a Galactus from, I believe they're called Shop V. They're a new company as far as I'm aware of, and it's going to be spicy. But let's talk about the Hot Toy side of things first. So we have Reed, we have Sue, and we have Ben. We don't have Johnny just yet. As of time of recording, by the time I get this out, they might have dropped Johnny as well. I might have just jumped the gun a little bit, but we'll see what happens. But so far, 3/4 is pretty good. But we've got a few additions, we've got a few special features, and this is the Galactus I'm on about. They're making it look like this is a Hot Toys. This isn't really Hot Toys, it's by a different company, but it's in the same brand, it's in the same vibe, it's coming from the same publisher. But yeah, you can see we've got different types of Mr. Fantastic. We've got a Mr. Fantastic on his own. He then has a special edition, like they all do, that comes with a playing card. But he also has a Mr. Fantastic and a Herbie, so there's going to be a few more options for Pedro Pascal than there is going to be for everybody else. But also, Sue comes with a Herbie, so you could get like regular edition Reed and then get Herbie with Sue. There's options for how you buy. Now, this is a massive drop. We're going to be glazing over a lot of things. And we're probably going to be glazing these figures because I'm not going to lie, these things look breathtaking. These things look sparkly, they look beautiful, they look magnificent, they look wonderful. You could say they look fantastic, but we're not going to go there. That's a bit cringe. And although I am cringe, we're not going to go there. Now, the head sculpts, completely fresh, completely new. They're not just using the Last of Us one and just changing the hair. This is a completely new vibe. They're going for a new Reed, going for a new breed of Reed. I don't know if we're going to see any returns of old. We'll see what happens. This is a different universe, it's a different vibe. Now, as you can see, his articulation is going to be insane. He's got different body parts, he's got extendy bits. That's crazy. It's going to look mental. So he's got a different body, different legs, and different hands. Articulation on this guy's going to be wild. Also, because they're fabric bodysuits, it's going to be insane regardless. These things are going to move like a dream. You can kind of see like quilting in the fabric of the figure there. That looks stunning. It looks very accurate, which is also, you know, for your accuracy buffs when you're paying this much amount of money, which we'll get to in a bit. You kind of want it to be accurate, or at least as accurate as they possibly can get without, you know, leaking the film. But yeah, there's Herbie there. He's looking cute, he's looking adorable. This is with your Herbie edition of Mr. Reed Boy, and it's looking breathtaking. I love how Herbie looks. His articulation looks more than I was expecting. Sometimes with these types of figures, they do go a bit monopose, and that's perfectly fine. You don't need him to do too much. But overall, he's looking stunning. The colours are popping nicely. This is going to be a very standout section of your collection. Not many figures have these colour sets. Not many figures are this bright. The whites are popping. They're looking beautiful. They're looking magnificent. I'm very much glazing these figures. That's just such a tough pose. I'm going to be completely real with you. Now let's go to the pricing. As of recording right now, which for me is 11 in the morning on Friday, there is nothing up on the Sideshow website just yet. So we're going to do a little bit of estimation. Now, at the moment of recording, the price for Johnny Storm from Deadpool and Wolverine is $305. So, it's probably going to be a teeny bit more than that, because there's a lot more stuff that's coming with this. And as you can see, Sue comes with quite a lot. You get Herbie. I'm assuming they're going the Franklin Richards route, so that is going to be Frankie Boy. Comes with his crib. And then she only gets a couple effects pieces. So I was kind of hoping a few more like invisible bits, but we also might get like an invisible edition of Invisible Woman, which might just be no figure in the box. But you know what I mean? More invisible effects. But the head sculpts look beautiful. I don't know if they're going to do artisan later down the route. But at the minute, it's sculpted plastic, but I actually really like how that looks. The only thing that's going to hinder is articulation. But back to the price, you're probably looking around $300 per, except for Ben. Ben's probably going to be a pretty spicy, pricey boy. And obviously Galactus. Galactus is going to be ridiculous. But yeah, there's Sue. Poses look great. The proportions look great. The proportions look great on all of them. With it being like a skin-tight fabric suit, if the proportions were off, you would really notice. Also with the turtleneck though, it's going to be hiding some of the neck seams. So this is honestly kind of like a perfect figure for getting like seamless bodies. And speaking of seamless bodies, let's go to Thing. Because they've kind of built him the Venom route, where like his torso is like a vest, over the body. So we'll see this in a sec when it goes further out, but so far the two head sculpts, the bearded and the clean shaven, I guess it's clean shaven, the regular thing look, they look perfect, they look spot on. Those eyes are horrifying to look through. But yeah, if you don't want to see any of the seams, you can use the bodysuit version of him. In previous years, they probably would have made this a separate figure where it's like you could either get him with a shirt or without. But as I was talking about earlier, there's the vest proportion of the thing. So you can see the articulation a lot more in this one. So it's going to depend if you like completely seamless. But if you do, that's perfectly fine. You can put his shirt back on. Now, later down the line, if this film does really well, I would really like to see a trench coat Ben. So you get a trench coat and his noir detective cap. That would be stunning. Now, this is the unprecedented figure, statue, whatever you want to call it. Now, I could be wrong. I don't research too well, as you have noticed. I believe they're called Shopvi or Shopvi. Either way, new company. This is their new figure. It's Galactus. It is a big boy, but don't worry. They said 70 centimeters, I think. But don't worry, there is a scale photo with Reed that's coming up, so it's fine. But the detail on this thing is insanity. So this is basically our best look at Galactus so far. As you can see that, it comes with also some micro characters from Fantastic Four. So you can get, if you just basically bought this as you wanted your Fantastic Four scale, you could absolutely do this as your one-off, because then you get Fantastic Four people there. And that's just an incredible display. Even if you don't collect Hot Toys, if you're more of a statue person, this is the perfect option for you, I would argue, because it's kind of like probably going to be the best part of the film, or at least the biggest set piece of the film. Now, it comes with lights. I don't know too much about its articulation, if it doesn't articulate at all. But as you can see there is your size comparison. It is a hefty piece of plastic. Sweet Mother Mary, that is a chunky boy. Heaven knows what the price on this thing is though, so we'll have to keep an eye on that. I'll probably make updates and posts. But moving on, back to the Hot Toys. This is kind of like your main segment. This is what we're here for. This is definitely what I'm here for. Now, I don't understand why they didn't release Johnny with this or put it with Silver Surfer and all that fun stuff. I don't know if they're just waiting further down the line, or once again, I don't know if I've jumped the gun. If I have, later on, I'll put a video out, but that'll probably be tomorrow's funness. But yeah, these figures look incredible. I can't wait to see them together. I want a photo of them together. I want to see what the scaling looks like together, but I know it's going to be spot on. Hot Toys been hitting it in that regard. The head sculpts are always a point of contention with everybody. I actually quite like how these look. I got it quite wrong with The Last of Us one when it came to the Pedro Pascal look. So we're just not going to go down that rabbit hole. But I like how these look. I like how fun the head sculpts look. But I also like how Ben looks like he's, traumatized that he's a rock man. You can see that in the eyes. You can see that in the soul. And although that's probably a bit too real, a bit too deep for a family film, I'm fully into it. I love it, baby. It's getting real. Now, they didn't have the cojones to do the 4 pose, and that is upsetting, but it's fine, guys. We can do it ourselves. We can meme this thing. It is okay. Altogether, though, this wave is absolutely... I'm going to do it. I'm going to hit you with it. This wave is absolutely fantastic, guys. Even though they didn't release the 4th one. Where's Johnny? Where's my Beatles-looking boy? Where's Joseph Quinn thirsting over silver women? I need that. It's magical. It's necessary. You've got to let me know your thoughts on these figures, guys. Which editions are you getting? Because they've got like special editions with cards. They've got regular editions. And then Reed has a version with Herbie as well, because why not? I don't know if the Herbies are going to look any different between the Sue and the Reed one. Or I don't know if they just padded out the Sue release because they didn't give it too many effects pieces. If that's the case, that's a little bit sly. Not going to lie. But that is fine. They do come with quite a bit, though. This is a really good looking wave. I do want them to finish it out, though. But stepping in place with adding this Galactus, I think is really fun. Getting some different scales into your collection is always fun. It just breaks up the variety. And also the colors. You don't really see purple like that pop too often. So I think this is a really fun look. Reed looks like he's a bit sorrowful, but he's also like really smart. He's got that look of superiority over you, and I feel like you kind of need that in a Reed. The head sculpts I think are really fun. The proportions look great. The figures look great. They're gonna pose like an absolute champ. I don't know if those little tech pieces are going to fall off the suit in time. We'll have to see when it comes to durability, but we're not going to break like the fabric and stuff. They might get caught in between the joints if that's what we're really worrying about, but everything looks so good. Poses look great. It looks like they're going to move like a dream. So I'm itching with excitement. I'm so giddy. These look so fun. And also just the different variety with the poses, with the different effects pieces. This is great. These are standout pieces. I think they're going to be a teeny bit pricey, especially Ben and Galactus. Sweet Mother Mary, Galactus is going to be something else. But so far, even not knowing the price and even not knowing the release windows and not knowing the film, I think these are going to be grail figures. So God help my wallet, God help my bank. We're going to try it. We're going to go for it. Probably not Galactus. Galactus, that's probably a car payment. That is probably... You either get a car or you get Galactus. Anyway, though, let me know your thoughts, guys. Are you excited for the film? Are you going to be taking your first steps into Hot Toys with these figures? I'm sorry, that was like a cringe AI walk-in line. I apologize. I didn't use AI, though. I'm not smart enough for such things. But give me a like, give me a subscribe, give me that watch time, because your boy loves making these videos, just ranting about figures. And let me know if the $305 price range is too much, too little for you. Do you want more effects pieces? Do you want more stuff? Anyway, guys, I love yous and leave yous. Have a good one.